Hello Wolfpack, not going to sit here and tell you there's much to talk about today, but we'll just get into a brief little 5-minute video just giving you a brief update of what's going on. Essentially, Bitcoin's still in the channel formation. We've outlined in prior videos that we have this downtrending yellow line and we have the channel formation. As you can see, that downtrending yellow line and the channel formation come to an apex, I guess you could call it, at around the 18th of September, meaning we need to make a decision on this channel, either breaking up above the line or down below the channel before the 18th of September. Now, what's interesting with that is 18th of September lines up pretty well with what's going on in September. And September is a big month for the macro kind of depiction of the economy, I guess you could say. Look, we've got the 13th of September being CPI release, and CPI will be very interesting for one reason I'll show you in a second. And then we've got the 22nd being the first rate hike in around 2 months by that point. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens with the rate hike as well. So again, mid-September is a very critical month for Bitcoin, right? Not only because we have this channel formation heading into the macro line, but also because we have CPI and we have interest rates. Very interesting times. And it wouldn't overly surprise me. If we see the bulk of the volatility within mid-September. Now, I think personally that we will lose this channel, and I think that will happen before that point. I think that will actually happen within the month of August. I genuinely think, or at least the first week of September, I genuinely think that this channel will be lost within the next 7 to 10 days. Now, look, we could see a short bounce before that happens, potentially 22.6K. I mean, if we head over to the hourly chart, it's no surprise that we could see a bounce. What we're actually seeing here is a triangular formation play out on the hourly chart at the bottom of the channel, and that's going to be coming to an apex. We had a unique triangle yesterday, it didn't really lead to much. That's going to be coming to an apex by the end of September, so it wouldn't surprise me if we do break this channel by the end of August. Sorry. So just keep in mind, it could happen a lot sooner than we expect. But worst case scenario in terms of boringness, worst case scenario, it happens in mid-September. And it will happen during a very volatile period of time. Now, the reason why CPI will be so volatile is because we've actually seen CPI, I won't actually bring up the chart, I'll just tell you what's happened. CPI was rising month on month on month, I think for like 18, 14 months, something ridiculous like that, since like early 2021. CPI was rising, which means inflation was going up dramatically. And then in the last month, or at the last release we had of CPI actually dropped by 0.6%, meaning inflation year on year dropped by 0.6%. And one of the major contributing factors to that was actually oil prices dropping. As you can see, oil prices topped out on around the 13th of June, which was the day CPI released for the month of May. So as soon as CPI released, oil prices dropped, which is, you could say it's a coincidence, but I would say it's more of a coordinated thing. I think that was intentional. It gave market makers the most possible time to make money on the market going up, while the rest of the market participants were in a blind area. They didn't know what was happening because CPI just released and it wasn't coming out for another month. I think that was coordinated, personally. But that's what happened. So we had the S&P 500, we had all the traditional markets, we had Bitcoin, for example, start pumping in mid-June. As you can see on the Bitcoin chart, we bottomed out here in mid-June, and so mid-June was when oil prices started dropping, and hence when the traditional markets and Bitcoin started going up. And then we saw a whole month of downwards trend on the oil prices and a whole month of upwards trend on Bitcoin and on the S&P 500. The whole time, the market participants were in the complete blind spot. They didn't know what was happening because only rarely the market makers had the information at that point. And then, now what we've seen is CPI top out. A lot of people have flipped back bullish. They think CPI's topped out, whatever. And now we've seen this descending wedge formation break to the upside on oil prices, which is indicative of the fact that, hey, maybe CPI actually isn't topped out, and maybe that was just all a big game from the market makers. Could very well be a big game. And that's why CPI is so important on the 22nd on the 13th of September, because it's going to confirm whether that was a game or not. And this is why I wait for confirmation. I sound like a broken record. I'm going to say it again. I wait for confirmation. I don't care what happens in between ranges. I'm looking at the critical levels. The critical levels for me on Bitcoin are this. The macro uptrending line, pink, is the critical level for downside. If we drop that, we're going to 17K, potentially going to 11.5K to 13.8K. And the critical level to the upside is very much 28.6K. Very simple, right? Macro speaking, I'm bearish right now because we're in a bear market trend. But if you're speaking broadly, realistically, your actions should reflect you being neutral right now. So you can be bearish. I'm bearish, macro bearish, yes, but my actions reflect me being neutral because we're in a neutral phase. We don't know what's happening yet. Nothing's broken. So why are we acting? We shouldn't be acting. All we should be doing right now is scalp trading altcoins. That's about it, in my opinion. And then So, that's the reason why CPI is so important. And then interest rates are important because what we've seen on interest rates basically, and if we go to the interest rate chart, let me get up here. What we can see, you can't actually really see it on this chart, but what we've seen basically is, I think we saw 125 basis point hike, 150 basis point hike, and then we saw 2 separate 75 basis point hikes. And what this indicates is that interest rates were not only rising, and they still are rising, but they were rising by magnitude per rate hike each time. And now we saw a 75 basis point, which means the magnitude of the rate hikes, yes, rates are still rising by 75 basis points, but the magnitude of the rate hikes is flattening out. And so we could be seeing a 50 basis point hike, right? Especially if CPI is coming in lower. So look, September really will decide the fate for Bitcoin. I've said this over and over again. I've been saying this since around early July. I've said September will be a very important time for Bitcoin. It will be. It will be the deciding factor for Bitcoin, quite literally. And I still stand by that to this day. September will be the deciding factor for Bitcoin. Now, the rest of August, we've got about a week left. Could very well decide what happens with this channel formation, right? And if we lose this channel formation, we could drop down and retest this macro line, for example. But I wouldn't be overly in anticipation of the fact that that macro line will be lost within the month of August. I think that's more of a September thing, just given the macro events that are happening in September. But, we're talking about a week time frame here. Like, who knows at the end of the day. But what I can say for certain is that the market patterns we're seeing right now are not bullish patterns, right? That's a bear flag formation. Total cryptocurrency market cap seeing a descending, broadening wedge formation, which is a pattern of exhaustion. For example, oil prices are going up. They've broken a wedge to the upside. If we looked at Ethereum, we can see the same thing, and we're seeing a symmetrical triangle formation. It's actually a bearish pennant formation at the bottom of the bear flag. So when you see a bearish pennant formation at the bottom of a bear flag, you generally don't predict it to go up, right? And that's what I'd say. I'd say that this channel, as I said at the start of the video, is likely to be lost within August, but I don't think we'll see any major moves within the month of August. I think that would be reserved for September. So I would expect, honestly, if you had to ask me, right now what I would say this channel would be lost within the month of August. And within early September, the macro line would be lost, and we will see our first potential sign for an actual bottom at 17.6K, which would be a double bottom, right, from the June drop. Why do I think that? Well, it's obviously a support zone now, and the 300-week SMA is headed towards that region. So I would say Q4 bottom, 17.6K is the first potential bottom. Second potential bottom is 11.5K to 13.8K. The drop from the channel is probably going to happen in August, and the drop from the macro line is probably going to happen in September. If you had to ask me, that's what I would tell you. I would also tell you that, hey, regardless of what I think, we need to wait to see it before it happens, right? We need to wait for confirmation, wait to see what happens. And that's the thing I say on my channel. Now, I repeat myself a lot. That's because 60% of my viewers in every single video are new viewers. I say this again, I'll say it again. You should not be acting. You should be waiting for confirmation and then acting. Being a trader, being a market analyst, it's not about predictions. It's about how you react to situations. You don't make money by your predictions. Your predictions don't make you money. Your predictions are confined within your mind, right? The thing that makes you money is you clicking the button, buy or sell. So actions are what matters, and actions need confirmation. That's what I'd say to you. So yeah, I think I'll end the video there. There's really not much to say on Bitcoin right now. I've kind of spent a whole video just going over the basic stuff. I've kind of narrowed down what I think exactly is going to happen regarding August and September, narrowed down what I think is going to happen in regards to CPI and FMOC and what's actually the situation with them. But generally speaking, there's not much. And this is why I took the liberty yesterday of going ahead and posting a unique video that I'll show you now. So I posted this video yesterday, Cardano, trading setup, spot and short, VIP teaser. Basically, it's an introduction into what you get in the VIP channel in terms of a trading signal. It's going over what you get per trading signal, essentially as a trading signal itself. If you're interested in trading signals in the VIP channel, you can get 4 of those videos per week, right? And you get prioritized reply to comments, and you get a 2-hour lecture on market psychology, and you get exclusive Telegram group access. So essentially, go and watch that video to get an example of what we actually give in the VIP, and then you'll see that we get 4 of those a week for the VIP members. So go ahead and check that out. Hey Wolves, if you're looking for an exchange to use for cryptocurrency trading and you're sick of your current exchange, or you're just looking for a better exchange, I'd highly recommend you sign up to the BitGet Exchange. There's many reasons for that. The first reason being it's non-KYC, which means it lines up with the fundamental values of cryptocurrency, decentralization on your end, which is perfect. It's also got 5 times lower fees than Binance, which is insanely cheap, which means you'll be saving a massive amount of money by trading on this exchange, which of course is one of your main intentions. On top of that, so it's 5 times less less fees than Binance. It's decentralized. And on top of that, not your keys, not your crypto. That's not really a massive problem with this exchange because they've got a protection fund, which they've dedicated 6,000 Bitcoin and over $100 million into that protection fund in order to secure the funds of the users. Meaning, if something happens on the exchange and you lose your funds, it's not guaranteed, but there's a very good chance that you'll be able to recover those funds through use of the exchange's protection fund. And the last thing as well is if you sign up using my referral link, which by the way would support the channel, I'd highly recommend you do that, which you can find in the description below. If you sign up using my referral link, you can gain access to a reward center as well and gain access to over 4,000 USD in rewards by completing various tasks. So lastly, I'll just say it again, please sign up using my referral link. It takes 5 minutes and it helps out the channel a lot. Thanks, guys. I'd also like to give a quick shout out to the Crypto Academy. This is a course developed by myself and Megawa Crypto. We're teaching people how to trade. Become a trader. A 10-unit course is, like the title, a 10-unit course that teaches people how to become traders. We teach people how to analyze charts. We teach people how to take profitable trades, how to master TA, whatever it may be. You can go on the website and you can read a bit about this, but ultimately I'll give you a quick rundown. 10 units, starting from fundamental cryptocurrency concepts, going through to technical analysis, going through to market patterns, indicators, candlestick formations, profitable mindsets and psychology, and then finally how to find trades. We've got about 450 slides, 80 videos, 8 worksheets, and a trading diary, which means we're targeting all of the core psychological groups of how to learn things, right? We've got visual learners, we've got verbal learners, we've got people who learn using practical skills like practice. We've got many different things there. We're targeting all those groups. We've also done an extensive market analysis on what TA courses are currently available. And we can tell you right now, for the price you're paying for this course, and in general, this is the most extensive course you will find that finds all of the information relevant to teach you how to trade, gives you lifetime access after a one-time payment. So if you're interested in finding out more about the course, go ahead and email cryptoacademycourses@gmail.com and we'll get back to you with all the relevant information. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.